Mambo, karibu kwetu. I am Binti Malu for those who don't know me, and then for those who have seen my face before, hi! I am so glad you're still here. I have taken a 4-month hiatus, maybe more, and I might make a video explaining why that happened, but I would like to first of all welcome every new subscriber who has subscribed to my channel in the past 4 months. Hey, karibu kwetu. I am so glad you have checked out the Binti Malu channel and you're part of our family, and I hope you stick around. I'll try to make this video as short as possible, so let's just get started. Today's video, I am going to be talking about 20 lessons that I have learned the past year, and hopefully you can relate to some of these lessons. However, if you have a lesson that you think is a good lesson that you'd like to share with us, please let us know in the comment section, and I'll be checking out the comment section for more lessons. So let's get started with the lessons. Accept that sometimes life is just life, and there's something that will go wrong, and we can control that, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're a failure. It doesn't mean your life is terrible. It's just life taking its course, and during those bad moments, it's okay to feel bad about life. Fairness is a state of mind. This came to mind when I was talking to a friend. Well, they're more than a friend. Anyway, when I was talking to a friend, and I think one of the statements that this person made was that life was not fair. And my response was, does fairness really exist? Like, if you think about it, what is fair and what is not fair depends on our perspective of life or on that particular circumstance. So with that said, I thoroughly believe that fairness is a state of mind. If you believe something to be fair, it will be fair. If you believe something to be unfair, then it will be unfair. The third lesson is it is almost impossible to have an educational argument. I don't even know how I can drive this home, but a lot of times when we're having arguments, we usually get our emotions attached, and rightfully so. We are human beings, and sometimes we are so stubborn that we don't want to see someone else's perspective. And then at that point, what's the point of having an argument if you're not willing to listen to the other person and learn something from them? Doesn't mean you have to agree with the perspective, but then there's always something you can take away from someone else's perspective. So I think educative or educational arguments exist, but they're very rare and they're hard to come across. At least for me, they are. So if you know people who have educational arguments in, let's say, public platforms, highlight me and I will be there. The fourth lesson is it's okay to break down and stay broken for a while. I think our society puts pressure on being okay and always having a life together, but then I think happiness, positivity, and always being okay is overrated. I think we should also talk a lot about those moments whereby we feel broken, we feel like the world is about to end, we feel like life is pointless, and what to do during those moments. Yes, you shouldn't let them control your life, or you should not let them overwhelm you, but then at the same time, don't suppress those moments just for the need of making it seem like you have your life together or making it seem like you're happy. I hope it makes sense. Number 5, it might not be okay now, but someday it will be okay. For the time being, not okay is okay. Earlier on today, I had posted on my Instagram story asking people, how are you? And somebody's response was, I'm okay. I just have those occasional moments where I feel the feels, if that makes sense. I will have it on the screen, but paraphrase is something of the sort. And my response was that to just experience or feel the feels that you need to feel so that you can move on. Just because you're sad, it doesn't mean you should suppress those feelings of sadness. I feel like the moments of not being okay have so much to teach us, more than the moments whereby everything is okay and going according to your plan. Each occurrence in your life, whether good or bad, can teach you something if you allow it to. So you can either let that occurrence ruin your life, or you can choose to learn from it. Again, it's just a matter of perspective and how you view problems or bad moments. I have come to have the mentality that even though I'm going through a bad time, or even though I'm not happy with where I'm at in my life, I feel like there's something I can learn from it. It might not be a pleasant lesson, but it's a lesson that will stick with me for the rest of my life, if not for a really long time. Lesson number 7, your pain is yours to bear. I was reading a book, I'll have it on the screen as well, and I'll have it linked down below. I feel like that book, there's so many things that have changed my perspective on life and have taught me so much, and this is one of them. Sometimes when you're going through difficult times, we want people to be there for us and to bear some of that pain for us. What we don't understand is that that is not their pain to bear. They have nothing to do with that pain. You have to be okay with bearing your own pain, and you have to be there for yourself. I can't stress the importance of being there for yourself and realizing that it is no one else's responsibility to bear your pain other than your own. It might sound harsh, but I think that's the reality. And once we come to terms with that, we sometimes might not be as disappointed as we tend to be. Number 8, pray for your friends. God really hears those prayers. I have a particular friend this past year that I used to pray for so much just because I thought she was going through a lot in her life. And I don't know if my prayers were answered, but I know God had those prayers, and I feel like right now she's at a better state in her life. Again, I can't be sure about that, but I am certain for a fact that God heard my prayers, and I know she was also praying, so God heard both of our prayers. But the bottom line is that pray for your friends, pray for those people who are going through hard time, pray for your family. It might not seem like it makes a difference, but God listens to those prayers and then He answers them accordingly. So don't forget to pray for other people. Small things have a big impact. Things like sending a friend a journal, telling a friend that you're thinking about them, calling them, sending them a random message, telling them that you care about them and how much they mean to you, sending someone flowers. All these tiny things, they mean a lot, especially to me. I feel like this thing that people might find minute, is minute the word, minor or really small, to me they have the biggest impact, and they're the things that I might tend to value more than the bigger gestures. Lesson number 10, if you care, show it. Don't suppress it due to fear or overthinking about it, or assuming that the other person knows how you feel or what you're thinking. Express yourself. Yes, sometimes it might not be perceived well, or you might get hurt in the process, but it feels so much better releasing your feelings and letting the other person know how you feel. Whether it's your friend, whether it's someone you admire, whether it's a family member, it could be basically anything. Just don't assume someone knows how you feel, and then don't let fear or overthinking let you back off from expressing how you feel or expressing that you care about someone. Fear is part of the journey, and I think once you understand that, we might end up viewing fear as a positive thing rather than a negative thing. I don't think you should allow fear to consume you at any point in your life, but then you should experience fear, because when you experience that feeling of fear, it gives you assurance that you're doing the right thing. Again, that's just from my perspective. I feel fear is necessary for you to know that you are on the right path, or that you are taking a risk instead of playing it safe. Lesson number 12, we blame society while we're society. Now, we're human beings, and we're really quick to blame a lot of our problems on our societies. But then if you think about it, we make up our society. So we should start off by blaming ourselves rather than blaming the society. Basically, start from looking inward instead of outward. If there's a problem, try to figure out what role you play in that problem and then fix your role before going ahead and thinking about how you can make that impact or make those changes in the society. Lesson 13, positivity is overrated. I know a lot of people will come for me for saying this statement, but then just hear me out. I think there is a need of positivity because sometimes life is just a mess. It seems like nothing is going right, and we just need that aura, that feeling of positivity. But then sometimes it's pushed to the limits whereby if you're not positive, then something is wrong with you. If you're feeling bad, or if something is not working out, or if you're feeling sad, then you're a failure. When in reality, the good moments are just as good as the bad moments, if it makes sense. We need to have a balance between the good and the bad. We can't just put so much attention on positivity and then ignore the fact that sometimes you're going to go through hard moments and not talk about how to deal with those hard moments. And I think millennials and Generation Z, is that the word, have come to realize that in one way or another. That is why a lot of people these days are putting a spotlight on mental health, are putting a spotlight on how to deal with those bad feelings or those sad feelings and what to do when you're feeling down. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that you should never be happy, and I'm not saying that positivity doesn't play a role. I'm sure it works a lot for some people, but for me, it has been to the point whereby I have to fake being happy just to feel like a human being, or like to feel like my life is okay, when in reality my life might be in shambles, and I can't show that because why would I show other people that I'm not happy? I hope that makes sense. It may not make sense, but when to some people it just might make sense. Lesson number 14, purpose does not change, it evolves. Now, I was on Clubhouse, and in one of the rooms there was somebody who was talking about purpose, and then my question was, what do you do when you feel like your purpose has changed? How do you transition from one purpose to another? And their response was that purpose doesn't necessarily change, but it evolves. It becomes from one stage to another. So I felt like that was a great lesson, and I think if you think about it, it might make sense. To me, it made sense. My purpose might be different now than it was 5 years ago, but that doesn't mean it's a different purpose. It just means that my purpose has evolved. It just means that my purpose has evolved just like my life has evolved. Lesson 15. Learn from your past, be content with your present, and aspire for the future. In simple terms, don't concentrate so much on the mistake that you've made and think that you wish you could have changed in your past. Instead, focus on your present and what you can do to make your future better than your past. So just live in the moment. Be present. That's the bottom line. Lesson 16. Don't let temporary people affect permanent relationships. I don't know how I can stress this enough, but then those people who are just coming to pass by in your life, they're not supposed to stay in your life for the long run. Don't let those people affect friendships that you've built for years. It is not worth it. I repeat again, it is not worth it. One more time, it is not worth it. Please, please, please don't let temporary people affect permanent relationships. You will regret it. If you don't regret it, you're either in denial, and then even if you don't regret it, it will definitely affect the people around you. So please take that into consideration. Lesson 17, don't be ashamed of your scars. I think scars are underrated. We don't value them enough. Scars are nothing to be ashamed of, even if sometimes it might seem like you shouldn't be proud of your scars because they remind you of the wounds. But in reality, scars just show you that you made it through a tough moment, that you're here, that you're surviving, that you're stronger than you thought. So learn to embrace your scars. Number 18, my story matters. It's just as simple as that. I feel each of our story matters, and sometimes we don't see the impact that our stories have, and sometimes we do. I hope at some point in your life you will get to realize the impact that your story has, not only on yourself but on other people. Number 19, be curious. I have a curious mind. I will ask you 1,000 questions. I'm always curious about so many things, and when I'm comfortable with you, I will ask you about it. So never tame your curiosity. Let it run wild. As long as you're not doing anything harmful, please, please, don't cross that boundary. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything harmful. As long as your curiosity positively impacts you and impacts other people, let it free. Let it loose. Number 20, to wind up this video, stop expecting you from other people. Stop looking for yourself in other people. Start searching for yourself from within. Search for yourself from yourself. Other people are not you. There's only one you in this world. You are unique. So if you keep searching for yourself in other people, you will never truly find yourself. Invest in yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, and learn more about yourself. So that's it for this video. Those are the 20 lessons I have learned this past year, and I know there are so many more lessons I will be learning in the year ahead, and I'm looking forward to share that 365 days from today. Maybe a bit earlier or maybe a bit later, somewhere around 365 days from today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I apologize for the sound, I apologize for the lighting, but I think the netronini monekano, the kafili from this video is worth it. It's outside, it's green, it's different, and it's a good way to be back to creating content. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to keep spreading the African love, whatever kind of love you have to offer, because there's no room for hate. I shall see you soon. Kwaheri. Bye. We're done filming. Okay, now we're gonna just pause for some videos. It's a B-roll.